Hello and welcome to Out the Gate. This is where you'll get the weekend's best racing intel in 30 minutes flat, more or less. Definitely less now that we're at the back end of spring. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly, and this weekend we are going far and wide off to Kembla and Cranbourne. So I'm joined by Gilbert Gardiner from the Herald Sun and Racenet. Hello, Gil.
G'day, Alex. Great to be here again.
Travelling around, and of course we'll go up to Sydney where Mitch Cohen, well, the trip around the highways continues as we're down to Wollongong this weekend.
Yeah, I always like going down to Wollongong. It's where I started my career and had spent plenty of days at Kembla Grange. So looking forward to going down there, but probably more looking forward to the fact that I'm on 2 weeks leave after this weekend. So a bit to look forward to on both accounts.
Geez, it must be nice for some. I can't really talk, though, with what I've got coming up. But, of course, the Group 1 Railway is on at Ascot as well as the Pinnacles do take over. But we will talk about the Gong and the Cranbourne Cup as well. Before we get into it, make sure you do follow Racenet on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so anytime we do a video, it does pop up in your feed. And all of that stuff, as well as social media, Instagram, Facebook, and X, at Racenet and at Racenet Tweets. A lot of content still going up over the coming weeks. We will be over in Hong Kong as well. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up in Hong Kong for their big international week in a few weeks' time. But let's get into it. Let's rip straight into Out the Gate. Group 1 Railway Stakes is the main race this weekend, 7:58 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, 1,600 metres, $1.5 million on the line. We've got a full field. Couple of, let's say, travellers in Osipenko and Iona Merck have gone over there. Don't think they've got much of a chance, same with depth of character, but this is usually the Grant and Alana Williams show.
Yeah, that's right. So it's basically whatever Willie Pike's riding, and you back that, and the rest is history.
I think pre-COVID it was 4 straight for Willie, Grant and Alana Williams as well, mainly for Bob Peters as well, but of course They do have the likely favourite this week with the Bob Peters Cosmic Crusader. Let's just say didn't get the best of rides in 2 runs this time in to miss out on the field. But Mitch, I'll throw it up to you. How are you looking at this race? Because it looks relatively simple from a punting perspective.
It is now. I wanted to be with depth of character, to be honest with you, but then I saw the barrier draw during the week and it's just hard to back him, isn't it? Reece Jones is having his first rides over there on the card in the West and he's drawn the outside in the feature race. So usually that Golden Eagle form, it's proven over previous years that it's some of the best form in the country, if not the world. I think 8 Group 1 winners or 7 Group 1 winners came out of the race last year. I think if this bloke drew a gate, he was terrific running 4th in that race. I'll probably have a saver on him, but I think you just got to be with the favourite here. Watch Me Rock, as you said. Willie Pike has done, he's won 5 of these and they've all been with Grant and Alana Williams. His last win back in 2021 was on Western Empire. But look, he looks to be on another progressive horse here in Watch Me Rock. It's won 10 of its 18 starts. Its 2 wins over the mile have been here at Ascot. He gets the mile again with a perfect draw on Saturday. Look, he's going to be cherry right in the right position. I think he's going to take a power of beating.
Gil, anything to add? I know you're with him too.
Yeah, hard to add much more to that. Western Empire is one that I've sort of always had something on it at some point. And when I was looking through this field, I thought, there you go, he might be my tip. But then I see that Willie Pike's jumped off him to ride the other one. So that gives me a bit of a worry. Probably a shout out to Freddie Kersley heading over. So he rode at Caulfield yesterday. He's riding a $19 chance for Grant and Alana. Obviously rich history through the granddad over there in Perth. So all the best to him. So we're sticking to the Victorian flavour. We've got the Golden Eagles, the greatest race in the world that's produced all these Group 1 winners. So we'll throw some jockeys over there. So Billy Egan would be great to see him win another Group 1. And look, it'd be amazing if young Freddie could win his first Group 1, and wouldn't it be fitting if it was in Perth? That would be pretty special. So I'd probably, as we said, the graphic will say that I'm backing Watch Me Rock, so I will be backing Watch Me Rock. I'll include Western Empire and I'll include Storyville. You've got to respect Bjorn Baker, Iona Merck. Gets a lot of coverage, this horse, and always runs well. Probably not quite at the top level. Mitch is having a giggle. Yeah. Not quite at the top level, but so it's going to have to lift. But, this is not to diminish it. It's a Group 1 in Perth. It's probably around the mark, and we know Bjorn knows the right type of horses to send over there, refer Overpass.
I just think this is Overpass's travelling buddy with Derby Racing when you get beaten 20 at your last start. Don't really want to be with him.
No, look, that's right. But, if you look at it, he's had 29 starts for 8 wins, 7 seconds. So 15 times out of 29. I'd love a horse, 50% strike rate. Yeah, 50% strike rate for top 2 finish. So, as I said, drawn well, local jockey on. I'm guessing it's first time in Perth, but has won at this sort of point in a thing. If you put a line through that last run, I think he'd be a chance. So purely an exotic play. trifecta's first horse.
I like Western Empire. He was sectionally brilliant first up. Hopefully can settle closer from gate one. And Billy Egan did win the gold rush on him last year when he got the late call up. Absolutely smacked him. So sleeves up Billy in Perth. But let's get to Cranbourne, down the highway, an hour away here from Melbourne. Big race day. Like they've put a lot of money into this Southside Racing across this and the Pakenham card in a couple of weeks' time. So the Cranbourne Cup now worth a lot of money, and we also have the Meteorite as well. But your best bet on the day does come up in the Cranbourne Cup. But we are recording this on Thursday morning.
Yes.
There is a chance that this horse may run, and I'll dare say will win at Kilmore if he runs at Kilmore on Sunday. So basically, wherever this horse is running, Gil is just saying back it.
Basically, yeah, there's an air of confidence about him, and that's exactly right. So wherever he goes, he should be winning. I still think he could win this race from here. I actually don't mind this barrier. They do tend to go fast. It's a speed circuit, Cranbourne. They do tend to go fast, tight turning. Mick Price was on radio this morning here in Melbourne talking about the fact that the only hope that this horse or not a hope, that's probably the wrong terminology, but basically his horse needs him to string out and then to get in one off the fence somehow at the back somewhere. So that's the challenge for Bo Mertens. Lightweight, clearly a progressive horse. They've got eyes on one of your rich races up there in Sydney, Mitch.
Donny.
Which escapes me.
The Donny.
No.
The Ingham.
Yeah.
So
the Ingham.
Yeah, if you win the Ingham, you get ballot free into the Doncaster.
Yes.
So it's the old Villiers.
Right. So they're looking. I mean, that would be the dream result. Have a win here on the weekend, and then head up there for the Ingham, and then whatever happens in the autumn. So they clearly have a very high opinion of this horse. Very lightly raced, but he's going to need luck from there. This race, $500,000. Kilmore's worth, I think, 200 or 300,000. So there's a bit of a prize money difference there. So I guess we'll have a look at the barriers, see what they draw. I still think home deck, doesn't have to travel, and it just looks a very winnable race. I mean, you look at the rest of this field, he's got a lot of them pretty much covered. I mean, they're all the type of horses that race against each other all the time, and I think he's just to use an overused term, the different gravy in this sort of field. Obviously, certainly with the most upside. Yeah,
and that, of course, being Sabaja that we're talking about. Obviously, they scratched him out of the race that they had on the Tuesday during Cup Week to run him on the Saturday. Didn't matter. He won regardless. So first up, he had no luck in a Silver Eagle. So look at the races that they've placed him in. They've obviously got a high opinion of him. He's only been with them for 2 starts, but I agree with you. Wherever he goes, he'll be winning. Mitch, you're with a horse in the main event at Kembla, and I'm assuming up there, rail in the true position, track will be good, and Gringotts looking to defend his back-to-back crown of the big dance and the gong.
Yeah, I don't know if the track will be good. If you look at the weather, there could be a bit of storms about. So, the track will be in good condition, no doubt, but certainly it looks like some storms are coming, and I think that's the only thing that could potentially beat Gringotts. I think he's basically as good enough as a sure thing on Saturday. If it doesn't get bottomless, I think it puts a question mark on a lot of horses. But if it stays in that soft range, he's proven he's just a winning machine, isn't he? He's won 11 of his 24 starts now. Now, if you look at his preparation, he finished second in an Allen Brown last year, won a big dance and won a gong. What's he done this year? He's finished second in an Allen Brown. He's won a big dance, and I think on Saturday he's going to win a gong. He carried 60 kilos in this race last year. He only goes up to 61 kilos. He carried 62 to win in that big dance, so carrying weight is no problem for him. I think he's just the class animal in this race. He's a Group 1 winner. I think he wins again on Saturday. I think his main danger, Estadio Mastala, on the 7-day backup has to be, but the draw's awful. It'd be interested to see if they go forward on him, because he's run the other day in the Hunter. He just had to get back from that horrible draw, but he was surging through the line. There wasn't a horse finishing off better than him. So interested to see what they do there. But I think the class edge clearly falls with Gringotts.
And you look at it with the weight scale in the race, how it's compressed. It's only a maximum weight of 61 kilos. He's actually really well in, similar to the weight that he carried in the big dance. The 62 maximum had him well in, given he is a Group 1 winner as well. So, yeah, all of his main dangers have drawn wide as well. So he's just going to lob in the 1-1, provided it's not wet. He'll be winning. Gil, your next best comes up in one of the main events of the day at Cranbourne, the Meteorite over 1,200 metres, $1 million. This is a good race.
It is. Just to backtrack a second, just put Regal Asmon in your trifectas. Can't win the gong, but can be a first forward trifecta sort of play. Philip Stokes had the option of running in the Cranbourne Cup. Has chosen to go up there to Sydney. Horses in decent form. Ran behind a nice one in Apulia last start, which is sort of similar form to Detonator Jack in the same race up there in Kembla. Yep. So anyway, just put that in your trifectas and exotics. But
number 17.
Yes, the Meteorite. Geez, Arkansas kid. I mean, he just stands out to me in this race. I mean, I see they've sort of Hedge, Zeus Sensation, Needs Some Luck. They're sort of at the top or the pointy end of the market in the media ride, $1 million race. A great initiative, actually, to Southside Racing. Got to give credit to Neil Bainbridge, a great administrator and great promoter of his patch. And he's really turned Southside into a thriving race club. They had the big merger there with Pakenham.
That was a great idea, to be honest.
Great idea. And now they've created this this media ride into the Supernova, a month apart, Cranbourne to Pakenham. I mean, it's just got a great narrative around it. Not dissimilar to those races up in Sydney. But we talk about the slots and all that sort of stuff. So
Joe Pride's going to be winning the Supernova next month anyway. So
yes,
that money will go to Sydney.
Well, that's right. That money will go to Sydney. Well, it's about time we give some back because Kieran's just been picking off all the slot, all the big races up there in Sydney. But back to the main event. I just think Arkansas Kid's the best horse in the race. I think he's drawn a gate. Yep. I think he'll get a lovely ride. He's well in at the weights. Jigsaw's the other one. I'm playing around those two. I think Jigsaw, obviously, when we say the home track, the home shorts, for people that are watching this that might not be familiar, Cranbourne Training Centre is a very different beast to Cranbourne Racecourse. One's basically a greyhound track.
One's the size of Flemington.
One's the size of Flemington, yeah. So when we say local, home tracks or this, a lot of these horses, unless they've been there for a gallop, might not have seen Cranbourne before. But
which they don't usually have jump outs and gallops on the Cranbourne track. It's all done on the training centre, having worked there for 6 months. It's now and then you get special dispensation, but it's very rare. Yeah,
that's right. But that all being said, Jigsaw has had 4 runs on the track, on the racecourse track proper. Won 3 of them. A couple of them have been basically in track record time. I think he broke the 1,000-metre track record, winning a couple of seasons ago and got within a whisker of the 1,100 or 1,200-metre track record last time. Absolutely flies around that circuit. Drawn wide, so that's probably the one concern with him. I would have loved him to get a little bit softer draw. He's my danger. So I'll be playing around them, the top 2 in the saddlecloth order, basically. 1 and 2. Arkansas Kid, I think, is just the best horse. He was desperately unlucky in this race last year. They went back from the gate. If memory serves, Blake Shin, shout out to him. Hopefully he's doing well from his broken leg. But I'm pretty sure he rode for luck. He had no choice but to ride for luck.
And Ethan Brown went whoosh.
Yeah, well, Ethan Brown went out. So they were basically side by side at the back of the pack. One went in, one went out. And we know what happened. Nadal just almost dropped out of the clouds and just bolted in. And all Arkansas Kid did was run up the backside of horses. He then franked that form a month later and ran a good second in the Supernova. Again, unlucky, got the wrong draw. So I just think this is a race that Ben Will and JD Hayes, they would have had this circled a long way out, and he'll just win.
Oh, bang. There we go. We'll go to your next best on the day, Mitch. Comes up in race number 6, benchmark 78 over 1,200 metres. Geez, I like Braith Knock at this time of year, especially as we're coming into the off-season. I think that 2 kilo claim will disappear in no time.
Yeah, certainly. He's certainly the pick of the apprentices at the moment and riding pretty well, mind you. So race 6, number 2, Tuned is where we're looking. I just thought this bloke came back in really good order. He had the ultimate gear change and looks to have come back. Really appreciated the procedure. Not that I would, but look, his first up run was really good. I think, he did get all the favours, I will concede. He landed on the fence behind the speed and the run opened up on the fence, but he just showed a nice turn of foot there and got away from them and looked to still have a bit to offer on the line. He should strip fit a second up. The draw's a bit stickier here, but Braith riding well. We'll trust him to take care of it. Now, if the track does get soft or heavy for that matter, this horse has handled it before, so another box ticked there. I think if you're looking elsewhere in the race, Shady Think has got to be the danger. The South Australian just didn't go right for the South Australian in the first run in New South Wales. I'm glad they stuck around because the plan was to have these 2 runs there and dip the toe in the water. So to give him another chance, I'm sure he's there to run well. But Tune for me, I think he can go through his grades nicely. Now he's a gelding.
I don't mind it. And we get to the value bets on the day. We're going early on in the day for you, Gil. The staying event over 2,540 metres. Are we making a soccer fan out of you tipping this horse again?
I just want to get my money back. I just thought last Saturday didn't quite go to plan. They went back from the draw and basically just stayed there and just had no hope in the world of trying to get the job done. So Lucinda Boyd, who obviously trains and rides this horse, basically said that to stewards that she might have made the wrong call there, or she agreed that she sort of made the wrong call there and probably should have been a bit more vigorous out of the start to get in a better position and make an earlier run, I suppose.
So I really can't blame the jockey as the trainer, can you?
No, that's right. That's right. Follow trainer instructions. But I think this horse is clearly hard fit. I think he's a decent sort of this time of year stayer. So I think last Saturday was basically a barrier trial for prize money. I don't know if he picked up any prize money. I can't recall where he finished, but I just think he'll just get some of that back.
$4,000.
$4,000, there you go. So they went around to Caulfield for $4,000 in the pocket. Pays for their transportation from Ballarat to Cranbourne. It's probably a bit further this time around. Yeah, I just think we'll see if Lucinda does make that adjustment. She's drawn wide again, so
go forward.
Go. At least be a bit close, a bit midfield. So I just think horse in form. I think they've got some decent targets on the horizon next month. So I just think if they're heading in that direction, this horse must be going really well. So I'm happy to go back to the well.
I like it. Speaking along those same lines is just the name of Mitch's value play here. I like this. Race 3, number 10, trained on track, has a good record on the track too.
Yeah, that's right. It's Let's Go again in race 3, number 10. Kerry Parker trains this horse, and as you mentioned, on track. And I think a lot of trainers in the Kembla region, and as is the case with Newcastle, you want to have a number of runners on the big day and represent the stable. And I think this mare has probably been set for this day. I thought the trial, she comes into this first up, and I thought the trial was really good. She wasn't asked to do much. She has performed fresh before, and as you mentioned, she has 2 of her 3 wins at this venue. So I think she races well here first up, should handle the conditions. A Kerry Parker for me around $19. I think it's a pretty good each way bet. It's a pretty even race. I think there's a number of chances, but the home tracker for me.
Kerry Parker and Jay Ford, a combination I don't mind finding. They filled my pockets many a time. Quaddy numbers this weekend. I'm seeing not 100+% for you, Gil. What is going on here? Is it just because it's Cranbourne? And it's a little bit tricky at times. And if you find a result, you will get well paid here.
Yeah. Look, I'm a bit disappointed in myself. I could have done a little bit better. We could shorten it up if we try, but I am going for a little bit of value on a couple of them. I just think you could probably shorten up the meteorite. But anyway, we'll get to that. Race 7. I've gone with 1, 3, 4, and 7. So it's My Temptation, Stolly Bolly. And then a couple of the value plays. Here comes the Star and Jasmine Rouge. I think
you could probably leave Stolly Bolly out, let's be honest.
Well, she just deserves one, doesn't she? I mean, I looked at it yesterday. I think she's placed, I'm sure it's a she, placed the last six starts.
Yeah, placed in 8 of 13 overall, but has beaten 1.5.
Yeah.
And it's been 4 J-Max and Blake Shinney on the last 4, so we can't say it's a jockey problem. It's 2 of the best in the world.
Yeah, no, just finds one.
Blinker's first time, though.
There you go. So, no, look, deserves one, so you got to put her in. I mean, you just know she's going to be in the finish. My Temptation's the one for me. It looks like a little bit of a target race for EJ. He's airborne. Craig Williams on. I believe this horse worked really well there on Tuesday. The second leg, which is the Cup, I've gone with 2, 3, and 15. Obviously, the 15 is Sabage, who we've got an asterisk on at the moment. The other 2, Stapati and Air Assault. Air Assault ran super in this. I tipped him last year in this race. He ran second to Globe. I think if Sabage comes out, I think Air Assault, the South Australian, will get it done. He's in better form this year. I just want to have Stapati. He hasn't won for a while. It does seem to sort of threaten on occasion, then put in a bit of a stinker. So I just want to be on his side just in case. It's the type of race that Stapati could come out and win. Now, if Sabage comes out, I'll replace him with the local, Ken and Casey Keys Ski Light, number 18. So depending on when you're watching this, if Sabage is still in the field, include him because I think he'll just win and you could almost stand him out. Otherwise, replace him with Ski Light. The third leg, the Meteorite, 1, 2, and 6. As we said earlier, Arkansas Kid and Jigsaw are the main plays. Need some luck. Won that Fisher, the Fisher Stakes, which is what Nadal ran in last year, ran 3rd or 4th. Came out and won, so the form line's proven. Fresh horse on the scene. Snowden got a respect. And we come home with 2, 7, and 13. Shershov, the Chauvinist, and Celerity.
Okay, $100 will get you 92%. Get to Kembla for the quaddie. $100 will get you 125% here. Mitch, I'm assuming we're going to stand out Gringotts.
We are. I'm going to stick to my tactics of if the best bet's in the quaddie, we'll go with the... We'll stand it out. So we have done that again, but we'll start with the Warra first. I've gone a little bit wide here. I think it is a pretty open race. So we've got the 1, Gringotts, the 3, Zealously, the 4, Catch the Glory, the 7, the Black Cloud, and the home tracker Sunrise there. As mentioned, race 8, just the one in there, Gringotts, he'll be winning on Saturday. Moving to race 9, a few horses that were hopeful to get into the Gong, but it's kind of almost like the Gong consolation, really, for a few of these. So I've gone 3 there, Our Gold Hope, the other home tracker, well timed in there, the 6, Lord of Biscay, and down the bottom there, the 12, Asgarda, who will just relish the conditions if it does get soft there on Saturday. And in the lucky last, we've got the 4, Yes Lulu, which has come up favourite, I think. Midnight Dynamite, the 6, the 8, Bartoff, and the 11, a home tracker, Satnus, scratch from an earlier race to target this. I think he's the knockout hope and hopefully the value for the quaddie.
Don't mind it at all. I'll be chucking that on for sure. Let's get into some news and what's going on around the grounds. Of course, the news never ends. We've still got a lot going on, of course. Well, Tempted came back into work this week. So, had a couple of weeks off post-Everest. Oh, yeah, Carnival's over. We've got our good horses back in work already. But what have we got in the Herald Sun and Racenet, Gil?
They'll be around a bit there. Yeah, as you say, it just keeps it. We're like mice on the wheel, aren't we? Really just keep chugging along to the next carnival, and it does turn around so quick. Certainly with the Group 1s now going into mid-November.
Yeah,
you really only have about a month, then you're sort of back in work if you raced through to the end of the carnival. So Tempted to have that extra time. But I had a quick chat to Mark Zara. I was actually surprised. Speaking of people that you don't see, usually he's almost having a spell by now.
He doesn't do the provincials?
No, that's right. So the old Caulfield Heath, of course, we should have known. Fair dinkum. He went there, I think, he finished up with about 3 rides. I think he might have ridden 2 winners.
Yeah.
So picked up where he left off during the Melbourne Cup Carnival. In and out, 2. They backed the Nick Ryan horse, Suntora. One with a leg in the air, so we should have known. Paid $350 or something. Anyway, but Mark will not be riding in Australia this weekend because he's going to Japan. So he's reuniting with Docklands.
Championship.
Yes, he's reuniting with Docklands, of course, the horse he won with at Royal Ascot. So he'll go over there, ride that, hopefully win, come back, ride in the Zipping Classic Day, and then you won't see him again until 2026.
So no Hong Kong for Docklands with him?
Well, if it is, it won't be with Mark Zara. I'm pretty sure he said he's coming back for Zipping Classic Day, and that's the end of the penny section. So maybe if he wins on Saturday, maybe the holiday, the summer break, has to be pushed back. But as I said, I'm pretty certain Zipping Classic Day might be the last time we'll see Mark Zara for this calendar year.
It's a good chance to pay attention to that race that Docklands is running in, because a few of those horses, Docklands included, will go to Hong Kong next month for the mile as well. So
right. Well, there you go. Well, we'll put a little asterisk next to that as well. Logan Bates, good little jockey. Not a little jockey. He's actually a very good jockey. A very good apprentice jockey. Logan Bates. He rides Jigsaw in the Meteorite. He's a Group 2 winner already this spring. He's just a very professional rider, very good rider, great hands, and has sort of risen through the ranks really quickly. And he's just got a good head on his shoulders and just getting the job done. So we have a good chat to him. Of course, he went back to New Zealand a couple of weeks ago and rode in a few races against his mum. So his mum still rides. She's a jockey in New Zealand, ridden over 1,000 winners. He won the Ledger 2-1. He beat her. She got him the rides. She got him about 10 rides on the card, and he knocked her off in a cut. 2-1 was the final result. And just finally, Luke Nolan, another man sort of wound back the clock a bit. Trumby, probably 12, 18 months ago, you're thinking, it's probably the end of the road for Luke. He's got to find something else to do. He kept getting injured, kept getting falls. Was struggling to sort of get a bit of any continuity. His talent's always been there. He's now wound back the clock and sort of, body is a temple sort of stuff. Really, really cleaned up the diet, exercise.
Less tins.
Probably less tins, controlled tins. I'm sure he rode his 900th. How's that, eh? 900 wins with Peter Moody combined.
It's insane.
Insane. So I'm sure he had a celebratory drink last night. But, so it was just good to have a chat to Luke. He's just rejuvenated. He's riding winners for fun. Of course, he rode that She's Alibi to a big win last Saturday.
Yep.
And, just going great guns. Good word with him. So keep an eye out for that over the next few days.
Don't mind it. Get up to you, Mitch. Obviously, still a fair bit going on at the moment. As I said, good horses still coming back into work already, even though we're at, the 20th of November today. So what's going on up in Sydney?
Yeah, no surprise. I know you mentioned Tempted, but no surprise to see her heading towards the Surround Stakes, as all the good fillies, 3-year-old fillies are going to do. There's only one 1,400-metre Group 1 for 3-year-old fillies on the calendar. I guess you're going to all target it, aren't you? So, we've continued to go on for a number of weeks. Even this week, we've got the Gong, then it's Festival Stakes, and we have one down week, then it's the Ingham Days. So still plenty to look forward to up here, but just focusing on the Gong. Clint's had a really good chat with Kieran Maher yesterday, who's made the Gong his own in recent years. He's got the 4 contenders this year, with Gringotts notably the main one. Duke de Sessa there as well, which I don't think many people would have imagined a Caulfield Cup winner would be lining up in the Gong this weekend. I had a good chat to Mitch Beer and his co-training partner, George Carpenter, who are probably in for their biggest day ever as a training partnership. It is their first season in partnership. Mitch made the move over to Kembla Grange 2 years ago. He's a bit of a social media sensation, but not just on the social media. He's been training a fair few winners as well, and they're just improving that stock year on year. They've got Sunrise in the Warra, a mare that they picked up online from a broodmare sale, I should say, not online. And now they've got in a Group 3 and probably chasing the biggest win of their training career. I spoke to Mitch just in general about how the partnership is going, how it works with him and George. They were not only training partners up until about 2 or 3 days ago, they were also housemates living up the hall from each other there on track at Kembla Grange. So they couldn't get enough of each other during the early days of that partnership. So that'll be the main read there. But yep, all eyes are sort of on the Gong Day and the big day for Wollongong down there. Just hoping for the club that this rain doesn't come and it's not all doom and gloom and rain down there, because it can clop plenty of rain down there at Wollongong, and they only get the one opportunity a year, and it's always a bit of a shame when clubs cop rain, when we haven't seen really that much rain in a number of weeks and months, if not down there on race day.
Yeah, that would be hardly ideal, because sometimes I know when Kembla does cop a fair bit of rain, that track absolutely cops it as well. But make sure you do head to Racenet, Herald Sun and the Daily Telegraph to get all the news coming up from all the journos in the coming days. There's plenty coming out as always. Now the recap of the tips this weekend. The boys are keen on Watch Me Rock in the Railway Stakes. That is the Group 1 over in Perth. Best bet in Melbourne this weekend at Cranbourne for Gil Sabaj. If it either runs on Saturday or Sunday, wherever it goes, it'll just be winning. Next best is Arkansas Kid with the value play Harland. For Mitch in Kembla, Gringotts best of the day, it'll just be winning. Tuned in race 6, and let's go again in race number 3 for the locals. Make sure you do follow the boys on social media. Gil is at Gilbert Gardiner, Mitch is at Mitch RW Cohen, and Racenet is a Racenet Tweets. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, hit the notifications bell. So anytime we do a video, it does pop up in your feed. We'll be doing a Hong Kong race day later today, because Car Ying Rising returns to Hong Kong this weekend. Romantic Warrior is also first up as well. It is their big preview day for International Week next month. So a lot going on at the moment across the world as far as racing is concerned. Gil, thank you. I'll see you next week, mate.
No worries. Look forward to it.
Mitch, enjoy your holidays.
Cheers, boys. I will do.
All right. Good luck if you're having a bet this weekend, and we'll catch you next time on Out the Gate.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.